Good morning, everybody. Just waiting for that to go live. And there we go. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? I'm so excited to be sharing with you again today. So let's just double check. I'm live in Live Producer. I seem to be live here as well. Awesome. So if you're watching live, please do give me a hashtag replay. I'd love to know that you made it. And first of all, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Let's just change that to the nice view. That's better. Okay, awesome. So today I'm talking to you about, are cohorts really the best thing for your coaching business? So just to make it clear, this training, this is for you if you either use or plan to use a launch business model and run your group program in cohorts, basically. So if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. And if I haven't already said that. And yeah, so today I'm going to cover why running a cohorts business model, so a launch business model, is damaging for your business and your income. I'm going to be talking about the effects of constantly launching. I'm going to be giving you a comparison of launching versus evergreen, and I'll explain more about what that means at the time, including the pros and cons and so on. And then at the end, I'm actually going to tell you how you can shift from crazy cohorts to effortless evergreen, because I can't actually say the evergreen queen. I was just about to say, because that is actually trademarked, but yeah, but that's what I do anyway. That's who I am. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, first of all, sorry, I just want to tell you, what do I mean when I say cohort? I just mean, like, basically in our world, in the world of like coaching and so on, it's just when you have a group program and you start it at a set time and you end it at a set time, and it's got a set group of people. So you know the drill. You do a launch, you've got a end date for your promo, and then you've got a start date for your program. You all go in at the same time and you all do the program at the same time together in a cohort. So I'm just going to quickly double check and see, because I forgot to check for any. Okay, awesome. I've got 5 people viewing. Hello. Yeah, it wasn't showing me this before. So Michelle is watching live. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? As you're saying, hey, what a cohort. So yeah, I just covered that. Awesome. And hashtag live. Awesome. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining today. Okay, fabulous. So first of all, before I actually get into it, well, let me know if you've got any questions about that, and I will answer those. And also, just let me know, are you currently, I think I missed out the word using there, a launch/cohort business model? So just put in the comments either cohorts or other, if you are, if you're not. And just to make it clear as well, there is no right or wrong. There are just pros and cons. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you're doing it wrong. No. It's different. For everyone, there's different things. But it's important that you know what those pros and cons are so that you can make an informed decision. Okay, awesome. So first of all, so why running your group program in cohorts is detrimental to your business? So basically, lots of coaches follow the same advice, and lots of business coaches give this advice. It's very popular advice. And obviously it works, or else it wouldn't be such popular advice. But they tell you to run a launch and then launch your program, and then wait 3 months, do another launch, and launch your program, and so on. And then it means the program that you run starts immediately after each launch. So it makes sense, doesn't it? And there is absolute logic in there, and we'll go more into this shortly. But the main problem with it, and why it's damaging to your income, is that in between those launches, you're literally turning clients away. You might have just started one round, and then someone's coming to you and they're like, I need your help, I want to join your program. And you're like, sorry, you'll have to wait 4 months. Like, it's yeah, what a message to send to the universe. You're literally telling the universe that you don't want money, that you don't want clients. They're giving you this gift of people coming to you and you're rejecting it. So that's like a really, really major thing. Just quickly double checking for any comments or questions. And yeah, so I hear you, wait lists are an option, right? And sorry, this is the most unimpressed cat look or face, in fact, I could find, and it just happens to be a cat, and I love cats. So yeah, wait lists are an option. But the thing is, when people are ready to invest, they're ready to invest now. You know, like if you're a service provider, or even if you're a consumer and you want to buy something, you don't want to wait 4 months for it, do you? You want to buy it there and then. So yeah, you can have a wait list, and they are a great option if you are going to stick with the launch business model. So people can sign up to your wait list, but they don't, you know, people forget they signed up to your wait list. And then in 3 or 4 months, when you email them and you say, hey, you know, I'm ready for you now, they're like, who are you? You know, so they just, yeah, they want it now, basically. And just in case you're like worrying about this, even if you're thinking about shifting to the, you know, like a more of an evergreen model, which I'll go into more shortly, and you're doing launches now, that's fine. And you can do waitlists until then. And they are a great tool, and they do have lots of, you know, lots of benefits to using, but it's never going to be as good as being able to accept clients all the time and accept money all the time and grow your program all the time. You know, making people wait for 4 months is never going to be that preferred option. So, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. I always do this and jump ahead of myself. So don't worry, if you're a cohort now, you can use the waiting list method. Absolutely. So let me just double check for any comments or questions. Michelle is saying, yes, I'm running challenges, but got passive as well, still work in progress. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with challenges, and I think they're a great thing to do. But when your business relies on it, then it's not good, because, well, we'll cover it more in a second, but it should be like something for fun, in my opinion. And I know you've got loads of stuff going on, Michelle, anyway, so you don't need to worry. I know just what's going on in your world. So yeah, so not only that, but when you do cohort, people get left behind as well. So, you know, think about it, imagine it, like when you're in one of these group programs, say you've got kids, sometimes, you know, you might have a really good streak and you might be able to get loads of work done, and you're like, yeah, but then you've got to wait until the next week to get the next bit of content, and you can't actually get ahead. And then the other times when your kids are sick or they're off school or it's the holidays, you can't actually do the lives and you can't do the work. So you do get behind, you know, because you can't get ahead of time, because you've got to do it week by week at their speed. So the people in your program, they end up losing motivation, they struggle to catch up, they stop showing up because they don't want to watch the next live when they haven't caught up with last week's live, you know, and they end up missing out on their coaching, they end up losing value. They'll end up not finishing the course. I mean, tell me, how many courses have you not finished? How many group programs in a cohort have you not finished? 100% maybe. And then because of that, you won't get your feedback or testimonials, and you don't. I think there's a point missing here. But yeah, more importantly than your feedback or testimonials, your people don't get that end result that you promised them. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? Is that you deliver what you promised. So that's like a major disadvantage to, you know, using this kind of business model. Yeah, so just a few more points to note on there as well. So when you do it evergreen, because I know what a lot of people will say is like, yeah, but when you're in a cohort, it's more exciting because everyone goes in at the same time. Everyone's at the same, you know, the same place. Like there's no one at an advantage or all that kind of stuff. But when you do it evergreen, and again, when I say evergreen, I just mean people can join at any time, and I'll tell you how to do that towards the end of this live. But you can still make it kind of like cohorts. You know, you can create accountability pods. You can you can get people to team up to hold each other accountable. So it's not like, you know, we've got to keep up with this 1 week, because you can actually build things inside your program so that they're still accountable. You can set up things like checkpoints and be like, make sure you've done this within your first month, because obviously with Evergreen, it's self-study. They can study at any speed they want, but it doesn't mean that you don't push them to actually take those further steps and, you know, complete the work. So the way it works is they get instant access to the training material. So they don't need to wait, you know, like that example I gave before of if their kid's sick for a week, or if they suddenly have loads of extra time, they can get 3 weeks ahead, do 4 weeks worth of work in one go, and then they can take the summer off to be with their kids. They're not going to get 4 weeks behind like they would in a cohort. And that's like a major, major difference. And it's a major advantage to them to be able to do that. Yeah, you as the coach, you won't get bored doing the same thing, same 12 weeks, like 12 weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 12. and then like a week off, and then you're in launch mode again. Panic, launch, build my audience, get enough people to sign up to my challenge, and then you've launched it, and then you're back to week one again. It gets boring. So when you do it in the Evergreen way, it's great because every week in your calls and stuff, you've got people from all levels. You don't know what questions are going to come. You're not repeating yourself like a parrot. And also, like with the people in different levels in those calls, the people that are just starting off, they're going to be asking questions about the new stuff. And the people that are near the end, there's a good chance they might have forgotten this stuff. So it's actually going to be a good refresher for them. Because how often do you do a course and you do it once, you do it fast, and then you forget everything. So with these mixed levels, they get that revision they need to give them fresh ideas. And the newbies, they hear the more excited, the more advanced stuff from people further in the course. And that gets them excited and it gives them ideas and it makes them like really keen to carry on. So it's a bit like kids, again, back to a kid's example. It's more beneficial for your 2-year-old to play with a group of 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10-year-olds than it is to play with 2-year-olds. And the same concept applies here because people, they get to learn from each other on different levels. So let me just double check for any questions. No, I think we are good on that. Oh, hang on. Yeah. It's being really weird again. It gets really jumpy in live studio. Okay, so basically, when your programs are 100% evergreen, you can help more money. You can help more people because you're not turning people away. You can make more money because you're not rejecting payments, and you can deliver a better experience because these people just have, they have so much control, and they can, they get one-to-one support with you as well. And this is a major thing because a lot of people think that a high ticket offer has to have one-to-one work, but with this kind of model, people actually get one-to-one work, but it doesn't take up any more of your time. So it's just overall a win-win for everyone. So let me know in the comments, would your business work with an evergreen business model? I'll just froze a little bit there. So hopefully my stream is okay. Let me know if you can still see me. But yeah, would your business work with an evergreen business model? And the reason I put yes or how is because I know it will, but maybe you don't know how. And if you don't know how, let me know in the comments. Give me a little bit of information and I'll tell you. I'll come back to it at the end and I'll tell you how it would work for your business. Let me just double check. Okay, cool. I think, yeah, the stream seems to be fine. So just to move on to the next bit. So what happens when you constantly launch in your business? So first of all, a launch isn't guaranteed to go well. Oh, what's going on? Hang on, something's going on with my stream. I've got Apple Mail open in the background. I should probably close that. Okay, that might help. Okay, so a launch isn't guaranteed to go well. There's no guarantee of anything. And if you do a launch and if it doesn't go well, what people tend to do is they tend to just like frantically create even more offers and launch more offers in between those launches or add more extra bonus things. And it's a lot of extra work. And it's not just... Yeah, sorry, hang on, I'm jumping ahead of myself again. But yeah, so not only is doing that like really, really time consuming and exhausting to be not only launching, but then actually creating and launching extra things in the middle when the launches don't go well, but also it's confusing to your audience. Like I'm so confused with so many people that are on my radar and I'm just like, what is this program you just launched? Is it the same as the last one? I can't tell the difference between them. I don't know the benefits and pros and so on. So it confuses your audience when you're constantly launching loads of different offers, and confused people don't invest. Everyone knows that. If someone's confused, they are not going to invest in you. So just let me know in the comments, like, have you ever felt burnt out from launching? Because I know I have. I've only done like what, three proper launches before, and I'm pretty sure I've burnt myself out on every single one of them. The first one, I couldn't even deliver it because I burnt myself out so hard before doing it. To be fair, I managed to get a sale at the end of it, but that one sale wasn't worth me creating an entire program for. Okay, hopefully I'm still live. So okay, Joanna's saying, yes, I can still see you. Awesome, thank you. Okay, Joanna's saying how. Michelle is saying, OMG, big mistake. I can't remember what that was about. What was that about, Michelle? Remind me. And Joanne's saying, I have a 21-day program called the Mind Body Confidence Kickstart. We launch 4 times a year. We do a 3-day launch. That's tiring. Defo felt burnt out. Yeah, absolutely. Like 4 times a year. That's every 3 months. So how long is it? Oh, it's 3 weeks long. Okay, that's not as bad then. It's at least you're not like running the program for the whole 3 months and then starting it instantly after. But yeah, it is. And that can so be evergreen. Do you know what I mean? Easily. The only thing that is a little bit harder to make evergreen, I have found, is for healers who actually have to do like one-to-one, and it's not even hard to do evergreen, but like in group format and like scalable, is healers that actually have to do some things one-to-one, because obviously certain things like NLP or timeline therapy can't be done in a group format, nor can they be like pre-recorded. But there are still ways around that as well. So even if that's kind of like how your business is, you can still, you can do cool add-ons and stuff, depending on what it is. There's always a way of doing it. The program is 6 weeks in total, but the live bit is 3 weeks. Okay. Yeah, got you. Yeah, so 6 weeks. Yeah. Nishi is saying, is it better to go for launching using a webinar? You can, it's up to you. If you're, I'm not here to teach you about launches, but you can do a challenge or like a live masterclass. There's not much difference, except with a challenge, you've got 5 days to really get, really gain that know, like, and trust factor. Whereas with a masterclass or, webinar, you only get that 1 hour to really gain their trust. So it depends how in depth it is. It depends how much people need to trust you before investing with you. It depends on the price point. It depends on loads of things. Quite often I'll say the first time launch it, and then after that do it evergreen, because then you can use all the feedback and testimonials and everything you learn from the launch in evergreen. But I wouldn't constantly launch anything. My 3 launches have been over like 5 years. Literally. But I work with a lot of clients on launches, so I see a lot of it still. I just don't do them for myself. Okay, cool. Let me just double check the time. Yeah, it's nearly 10:02. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to cover some of the key differences between launching and evergreen. So launching, you feel burnout, like some of you have said already. Inconsistent income. There's no guarantee of success. It's stressful. What if it fails? when you're trying to get all those like last minute signups, and if you're writing content while you're panicking, it comes through in the content, and it's actually counter effective. Excuse me. And then in between those 3 months, and I didn't mention this yet, but in between those launches, when you're actually delivering your program, you're still having to take on one-to-one work if you want to bump, if you want to get some income during that time. Your launch has to make enough money to cover like 3 to 4 months of your year and have profit, because you want to be scaling, you'll be making more each time. Okay. So yeah, you're constantly needing like new products to launch because you need to make it sound like fresh and exciting. Your audience becomes deaf because you're constantly promoting like this same challenge or whatever, and your audience are like, oh, give it a rest. You'd have to be growing your audience really fast, depending on how often you launch, obviously. You're constantly having to build systems, because you have to, if you're doing the launch exactly the same as the last launch, you can rinse and repeat to an extent and just change, the name, the dates, the links, all that kind of stuff. But even that is a lot of work. It's a lot of work if you do it properly and use a messenger bot like you really should, and so on. So it's a lot of work, and then it's impossible to optimize. So what I mean when I say optimize is like looking at how all of your pages are performing and like tweak them until they start performing better. So like your landing pages, your messaging, your headlines, your sales pages, your cart checkout, all this stuff. When you only do it in a launch, you can just look at that stuff and see what performed once every 3 or 4 months. And then after that 3 or 4 months moves, and you do the next launch, you'll have forgotten it all by then, and your audience might have changed, you might have changed, your business might have changed. So this is like optimization is really, really important for you to actually, get high conversion rates. So if you like compare that to evergreen, so when you do something that's evergreen, it's sustainable. You've got, as long as you are doing your marketing correctly, the top level stuff, your social media stuff correctly, you'll get consistent income. You don't really, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. If you don't win one sale, then you just take the next call and win the next one. It's not like, oh my God, if this doesn't go right, I've got to wait another 4 months. So because of that, there's a lot less pressure. There's no gap between your income. There isn't any necessity to do one-to-one. Like I said earlier, if you're doing like healing and stuff like that, you might need to build it in. But generally speaking, you shouldn't have to do any one-to-one. You can have a simple product suite. If you look at any of my other trainings, I've spoken about it loads before about, you know, like it's between like low ticket, mid ticket and high ticket and how you can structure your products and so on. Your audience, because you're not like pushing one specific event constantly every 3 months, your audience keeps listening because you can like take that time and be gentle, and your content can be a lot more, I don't know, can't think of a word, soul driven maybe, you know, because it's not, you know, it's not got that kind of like launch energy behind it. It's not like promo, 7 posts a day. And you build on it as you go as well. So you can continuously build on it to make it better. And because it's always there built, you can optimize it. You know, you're getting enough data. You can check how something's doing once a month and then make one little change and then check it again in a month to see if that change made it better or worse. And you keep optimizing it while your conversion rates get higher and higher and higher, which means less work for more sales. Whereas compared to a launch where, you know, you can't start optimizing funnels in the middle of a launch. There's no time. There's no, you can't get enough data and so on. So I hope that makes sense. Please do let me know if you've got any questions at all. I'm just going to double check now. So yes, initially, let me know if that answered your question at all about the launching using a webinar. So Joanna is saying, I'm an NLP and timeline therapy. Oh, wow. That was a really good example then, wasn't it? How funny is that? Maybe I saw that subconsciously from your profile at some point, and that's why that example came to my head. But yeah, so those kinds of things, obviously you need to be doing that work one-to-one. But what you can think about doing is, you know, if you've got an evergreen program, I'm assuming your training covers a lot more than that, then you could just have a standard version, which is completely automated and evergreen, and then they can upgrade to VIP, which includes 4 sessions, 2 of each, or, you know, however you want to do it. And that way your program's still evergreen, it's still automated, it's still the same process for everyone. And then at the end, you just add an extra little, do you want to upgrade, and add these sessions. Normally these sessions are $200 each, but you can get 4 of them now for, you know, I don't know, 555 or something, whatever. Awesome. Joe's saying, I love that idea. Yeah, so you can do so much stuff with it. Excuse me, I should have like done some voice training before I started this live. I always forget to do that. Okay, so final section, how to shift from crazy cohorts to effortless, not effortless to say, but effortless evergreen. So first of all, you will have done this in live format. Let's just do it on the assumption that you've delivered this program live before. So all your course materials, you have them pre-recorded. So what you can do is just download the videos from a previous live launch. If you're not happy with previous ones, you can record them again, but until you're like selling stuff, it's best not to put too much time on it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but basically you just need it in an online course format where people can access it and then they work through it like an online course. So secondly, you need to find a way to generate passive and semi-passive sales for this program. So you can do that using an evergreen masterclass or webinar funnel. So basically you have a very high value training and you promote your program at the end. There are things, just double check I'm not getting ahead of myself again. Yeah, there are things you can do to make it more effective. Like when you do a launch has time pressure, right? And that's why a launch is very effective, because it's like, you know, let's say you do a 5-day challenge. On day 3, you announce your offer and you say, look, you've got a 24-hour bonus. If you purchase by Thursday, you're going to get this more. And then you've got another one saying, if you purchase by Friday, you'll get this more. And then it goes public, and then the public gets some kind of, so you've got all this time pressure. And you can do that with Evergreen as well. And a lot of people don't think you can, but you do. That's why we've got countdown timers. Countdown timers are your best friend. Don't use Kajabi. They don't have that function. They are ridiculous. So yeah, so you just need basically a funnel where you drive people to a free training and you sell your program. It's really that simple. There's obviously more to it, more things you can do when it comes to email marketing and so on. But that is it. So you can then, you know, create an accountability system. So, you know, like those of you who are worried about cohorts, when you know, you think it's good for your people to have a weekly structure, you can still do that. You just need to figure out a way to do it in your evergreen group. either, you know, like with checkpoint, like checkpoints, or like with creating little pods of people, like groups of people to be accountability partners and so on. The way it works then is you do what's called hot seat coaching. So you do a weekly call, anyone can jump on, and then some people, what they do is they get to jump in the hot seat and they get that one-to-one time with you. So you deliver that one-to-one work. So they're actually getting you, real you, at a group program price. This is why your group program can actually be high ticket, like 10,000 people do that. And that is how you actually deliver the value. And obviously for the rest of the people, depending on how many people are in the group, will determine a few things. People couldn't get support from you in the group and so on. You can hire coaches to help you with support in the group and so on. So add VIP or one-to-one upsells. This is like what I said a moment ago. You can absolutely do that so that you can still include one-to-one or, you know, add-ons and so on. And then finally, you just need to get the necessary systems in place. So what I mean by that is onboarding them. So getting them into your program, offboarding them, you know, if it's a membership, what happens when they leave? Nurturing them, you know, like when they sign up to that Evergreen funnel you built in step 2, you know, how to actually nurture them and drive them towards sales, all that kind of stuff, cart abandonment. You need all these systems in place. And then once all of this stuff's in place, all you have to do, the only thing you have to do in your business is be present on social media, attract the right audience to you, and share your link where it needs to be shared so that people can watch your free training and then join your program. And it's just an easy life. And then when you're bored in 4 to 6 months because you haven't launched and, you know, you're like, okay, I'm bored now, do a launch, burn yourself out. It's fine. Do it for fun, because you won't be putting your whole life and soul into it, because, you know, that's not going to be your only form of income. So let me know if that makes sense. So Joanne is saying a big part of my community, of my program, is the community and everyone going through it together, which is where I have struggled mentally with making it evergreen in the past. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people get hung up too. So, but that's where that's where these little groups can come in. So even though people can join at any time, what you can do is just have like smaller groups and just allow them to, you know, create their own mini communities in there. And people, I don't think where someone is in a course, in taking an online course, will actually affect kind of like how they are in the community as well. Because like I said a little bit earlier on, if some people are seeing other people like really excelling and like really getting these results and asking questions about things that they've done, they're like, I want to catch up. And it's almost like wanting to catch up. Like, so for me, I just started this exercise group recently in my local area, and I was finding it really hard to feel motivated to go. But then like one of my friends started going, she started going like 4 days in a row, and I'm like, oh my God. And all of a sudden my mindset has changed, and I'm like, I'm going to go that much. You know, it's made me really determined, because I'm like, I don't want to be the only one left with a flabby tummy, you know, like it's just, it really helps to have different levels, because I'm looking at the people with those muscles and I'm going, I want to be like them. So it kind of works the same way in one of them programs. So yeah, that's really good to hear. Thank you. You're more than welcome, Joanna. Okay, awesome. So what is next? Yes, let me know. So do you feel ready to shift based on what I've told you today to Effortless, Evergreen, or would you rather stick with crazy cohorts and constantly burn out with inconsistent income all year round? Sorry, that was a mouthful. So you can type ready or crazy. I'm not calling you crazy. I'm calling the cohorts crazy, and the launching crazy. And yeah, because I've just got 2 minutes left. So I just have 3 things. If that is you, and you do want to learn more or go ahead with that, then I have 3 things right now that will help you. Yeah, that will help you on your journey. You can read that and have an inconsistent without feeling burnt out. And these 3 things. So you've got on there, you can see free funnel, free training, and free community. So what I've shown you today, this is actually a very small part of the free training QR code you can see in front of you. That free training has my 2 proven frameworks in it. One is the scale framework, which is how you build your evergreen systems. And one is the free framework, which is how your business actually has to work and talk together and so on. So that's all in that free training. So if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome. The second one is free funnel. So if you're thinking about actually building like a lead magnet funnel, which you can then go on to drive to any of your programs or, you know, membership and so on, then I'm offering free funnels. There's a video explainer behind that QR code. You don't need to sign up to watch it. It's just a video on a page, and there's 2 buttons underneath. If you want to apply, you can click the button, and my little bot, Soph bot, will talk you through the process. And then otherwise, if you're not ready to kind of do anything now, but you do want to stay in my world, then you can join my free community on that 3rd QR code there. So you can just scan that with your phone. And then you can join there. And there's tons of training in that group on its own already in the guide section. So let me know if you've got any questions at all. I hope this has been eye-opening. I hope it's been helpful. Do let me know if that is the case. And I'll just do one last check for any more comments. And in that one, so I'm going between screens as always. Okay, all good. So Joanna's saying, thank you so much, very helpful. You are more than welcome, my lovely. And also those of you, if you're watching on replay, if you've got any questions, let me know as well. I'll be happy to come back to you. So thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you so much for your comments today, ladies. And I guess I will see you again next week. Enjoy your Thursday, or hang on. Yeah, it's the middle of the night for the US now, isn't it? So yeah, enjoy your Thursday, all of you, wherever you are. All right, speak to you soon.